Graphic organizers are an excellent way for people to organize and communicate ideas effectively and efficiently. They are useful in many settings, including classrooms. I'm going to talk specifically about using graphic organizers in an English language arts class. What are graphic organizers? Graphic organizers, also known as concept maps, knowledge maps, story maps, cognitive organizers, advanced organizers, or diagrams, are education tools that use symbols and illustrations to visually represent concepts, thoughts, or ideas. Why are they useful for teachers? Graphic organizers should be used by teachers in two different ways: to assist them in communicating information to students and encouraging students to use them to organize the information that they learn in a way that they can make connections, generate new ideas, or remember information more easily. Additionally, graphic organizers are a great way for teachers to describe new ideas to visual learners. They're good for explaining the central idea of a topic and helping the students tackle a large amount of information in an efficient way. They help learners to remember information because the learners can use the graphic organizer to make connections between new and old ideas. Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences suggests that students are better able to learn and internalize information when more than one learning modality is used in instruction. Since graphic organizers present material through the visual and spatial modalities, the use of graphic organizers helps students internalize what they are learning. How can they be used in an ELA class? They can be used by helping to structure a student's writing, identifying key concepts in a studied text, organizing a student's paragraph, comparing topics or characters, organizing notes, brainstorming, and mapping concepts and events. One example of a graphic organizer that is great in an ELA class is using a Venn diagram to make comparisons either between text or within a text. Venn diagrams are made up of two overlapping circles that represent two different topics. The learner writes the differences and similarities of the topics in the circles to compare and contrast them. This is an example of a Venn diagram being used in an ELA class to compare and contrast poetry and prose. Another example of a graphic organizer in an ELA class is a question outline that acts as a brainstorming tool to get the student thinking about a piece of text. In this specific outline, the students have to answer the questions who, what, where, when, and why. This is something that could be used initially after reading for students to show their understanding, or as a brainstorming tool before a student creates an original piece of writing. Another example of a graphic organizer in an ELA class is a map. This map will require students to input information for their introductory paragraph, their 3 body paragraphs, and their conclusion. This format will help the students plan out a 5-paragraph essay while keeping in mind that the body paragraphs should all be independently connected to both the intro and the conclusion paragraphs. The last example of a graphic organizer is a character web. A web is a great brainstorming tool in which you simply write a topic in the center of the page and connect words that come to mind when you think of the topic. This is especially useful in an ELA class for character analysis during a novel study. In this example, I made a web for the character Red in the story Little Red Riding Hood. To make a web more complex, you can also create subtopics related to the original topic and connect ideas to each subtopic.